So moving over to video number 2, something else I've been doing lately, I've been reading a book called, it's called A Little Book of Colour, I don't know if you can see. It's called A Little Book of Colour, and it's How to Use the Psychology of Colour to Transform Your Life, and it's by Karen Haller. It's a little book I've been reading lately, because I'm quite interested in colour and colour psychology, and this was quite an interesting book. I'm not sure if I agreed with all of it though, but it was, what I did find quite interesting in here was this idea that there exist colour personalities, that we all have a kind of a particular colour personality that we identify with, because traditionally, obviously we have the colour wheel and we have complementary colours, that are opposite each other on the colour wheel. So, for example, blue is complementary to orange, and yellow is complementary to violet, and so on. And these complementary colours are meant to kind of bring out the other colour. So the other colour can appear brighter when you place it next to its complementary colour. It can look good, but it can also sometimes clash, particularly if it's used in a wrong context, and it can be a bit overwhelming, and you have to sort of use complementary colours carefully to ensure that, because they don't necessarily look great alongside each other. Say if you use them in the wrong proportions or the wrong sort of tone. And then there's also the harmonious colours that are next to each other on a colour wheel, and they can look very good together because they sort of can blend sort of harmoniously into one another. But she was in this book, they were introducing another way of looking at colour with harmony, which is called tonal colour harmony. I don't know if you've heard of that. Tonal colour harmony, it says, unlike traditional colour harmony, tonal colour harmony posits that every colour in nature sits in one of 4 tonal groups. Colours from the same tonal group will always harmonise with each other, but when colours from one group sit alongside colours from another group, they will jar. This is the way that colours are arranged in nature. Think of a tree in all its autumn glory. All the many different reds, yellows and oranges exist in a tonal harmonious whole. There is nothing that looks out of place. Colours don't need to sit next to or opposite each other on a wheel to be harmonious. The theory of tonal colour harmony is a principal tenet of the White theory. Created about 30 years ago, the theory is the result of White's exploration of underlying patterns in the colour spectrum and their relationship to patterns of human behaviour. In the 1990s, scientists looked at the way in which White had organised colour into 4 tonal colour families and discovered that there are correlations between the colours within each group that are not shared by the colours from any other group, thereby establishing that tonal colour harmony is in fact an objective reality. So an example, the first one is the spring. This is the spring playful palette. You can see that. The spring playful palette. So you can instantly see that all the colours in this group are warm, clear, delicate and bright. They are yellow based, which is what gives them their warmth, and they contain no black, which is what gives them their clarity. These colours have an inherent balance of vitality to them and all the lively, happy energy that we associate with springtime. Among the many hundreds of colour names that fill this group are watermelon red, apricot, sky blue, aquamarine, lilac, cream, buttercup, sunshine yellow, apple green, coral, baby pink and camel. We also have summer serene, that was the other one, and then there's autumn earthy. Autumn earthy is that one there. I don't know if you can see. And it says, like the spring playful palette, all the colours in this group are warm yellow based but have more intensity. Each has a varying percentage of black added to it. This is what gives this group its rich, fiery depth. Remove the black from these colours and they would be just like the colours in a spring palette. You can feel the earthiness of this palette, the grounding energy that we associate with autumn. The soft, muted tones of summer have been replaced by all the colours of harvest and autumnal leaves, rich rust reds, golden yellows, saffron, burnt oranges. These colours have a lovely weighty feel to them, whereas the colours in the spring palette are so light you feel they might just float off. Colours in this palette range from the gentle and soft to the flamboyant and offbeat. They include olive, forest green, teal blue, aubergine, burnt orange, sunflower yellow, rust red, ivory white, chocolate brown and stone. And the final one that we have is the Winter Minimalist, which is that one there. The Winter Minimalist one, which is the second of the cool blue based groups. They're bold and dramatic. And also your palette is the only palette that contains pure white and pure black. The other colours include magenta, lemon yellow, pillar box red, pistachio, ice blue, pure grey, royal purple, shocking pink, charcoal silver and midnight blue. The other blue based group is the summer one, which is a cool blue based colour group. And the summer group is relaxed and soft. And each of the colours in the palette has a varying percentage of grey added to it, which gives them a distinctive, cool, delicate and elegant tone. And subtle and understated, and never heavy. So those are the 4 palettes, and then there's a questionnaire in the book, so you can discover what colour palette your personality aligns with. I discovered as I did this, I don't know how accurate I am, but I was primarily spring, spring playful. It says your spring playful personality is outgoing and spontaneous with a childlike sense of fun. Now, I'm not spontaneous. I'm autistic. I'm not spontaneous at all. So this is clearly written, I think, for a neurotypical audience. I mean, I guess you could do one for autistic person and probably just omit the spontaneous bit. But I do have a childlike sense of fun. I am lively. It says eternally youthful, enthusiastic. You can be mischievous and playful. I'm not spontaneous though, so that bit isn't. Yeah, I mean, obviously you have to take this with a massive grain of salt, and it's obviously a bit for neurotypical, so obviously, it's going to be a bit hit and miss. But I could definitely relate to the playful side, which is probably why I came out with spring when I took the questionnaire. I'm not good at multitasking though. I'm not good at multitasking. In terms of fashion style, your preferences for delicate light patterns, polka dots, small flowers, a floated designs have a lot of movement to them. But my second personality, by the way, was autumn, so I am quite autumn as well. So I'm spring, but I'm also I do like bright colours, but I'm definitely also an autumn person as well. So that palette as well, I might kind of jibes with me. Which is the autumn earthy one. You have an inquiring-minded desire to understand, happiest when in nature. You prefer just meeting up with a small group of people, quite kind of earthy, homely, but you may appear to be bossy and dominating. And also, the autumn personality is not minimalist at all. It's maximalist, like certain things on display. I definitely do, books and things like that, comforting, homey stuff. It's hard to know which one is dominant in my personality, really. I think possibly both are. Like, maybe the autumn part of my personality kind of grounds and brings back down to earth the more jumpy, kind of flappy, kind of youthful side to my personality, which is like spring-like, is kind of grounded by the more autumnal kind of part of my personality. I think in terms of colours,